Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. I want to share a project with you, a junk journal, and this is nighttime crafting. I can't do the hutch at night time because it's too dark in my craft room, so I've sort of wanted to finish some projects before Christmas, and this was one of them. I hope you enjoy it. I've used snippets, offcuts of appliques, doilies, tea-dyed lace, magazine clippings, and also a fabric which you'll see that I've covered the cover with, and the cover itself was from a biscuit box. Here I've made a vellum pocket. I was lucky enough to get hold of 2 A4 pieces of vellum paper, and because the cloth behind it stopped the notes or tags or little booklets to slip in, I actually glued one of the pictures from the magazine in the background, and I think that looks pretty cool. This tag and pocket was in a Happy Mail from Valerie Kruger. I coffee dyed and food colour dyed a lot of the pages throughout, and also used some digital printouts that were gifted to me also by Valerie Kruger. I was able to get hold of this massive pile of brown packing paper, and it's probably about 12 inches wide and about 4 meters long, all crinkled up. So I ironed it, and I'm using that as pages by just sewing 2 pieces together to make it a bit stronger, and I just love the sound of it and the feel of it. Here I went mad popping in some stamps from the Australia Post stamp book, and also I've made a little pocket just down the bottom with the music notes. This lovely paper was gifted to me by Ruth Burr. It was in part of the goodies that she sent with her entry to my challenge. These are the digital printouts that were gifted to me by Valerie Kruger. They are white pages, but I felt, well, you know, give this book a bit of interest, just a variety, instead of having them all the same. I've raided hubby's little drawer that had all the old printouts of A4 papers that were test papers, and once I've coloured them, they come out pretty good, and you can just sort of see the fine print on them. Oh Bonnie, this page is for you, the one on the right. I did a little paper patch with your little band-aid trick. Works wonders. Thank you for the tip, Bonnie. And this is Bonnie and Clive here on YouTube. This fantastic envelope arrived in the mail probably about maybe 4 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and it's from Therese from Tea Friday here on YouTube, and she gifted me with some goodies, and I decided to put this envelope in the book and use it. These pages I've actually laid out on the grass when I poured some coffee on them, and they left these marks as it dried, and that was a great idea from Bonnie and Clive, because I usually hang them up on the wash line. Another lovely digital printout from Valerie Kruger, and I've used these as the beginning of a signature and also in the center of the signature. And each signature front page and back page, I've actually attached some lace on the edging as well. The little pocket on the right hand side, Pride and Prejudice, is from JD, Junior Desiree, here on YouTube, and this was in a bit of Happy Mail that she sent me a while ago. A lot of the magazine cutouts had some really pretty pictures, so I sewed some coffee stained paper on the back, glued and sewed, and so that you can actually journal on the back of them as well. Here you can see each signature is started with a digital print and finished with a digital print, and the lace edging as well. Now this is a part of a little doily, and it's been laying around, and I decided to use it in this magazine. Again, just to give it a bit of interest. Now check out the colouring here on the page on the right. This is actually a printout, a test print that comes through the printer for the colours when hubby changes the cartridges. And once I've poured some coffee on it, it just smudged, and all the colours ran, and just gave it a really good look on the paper. Here I've used a envelope from good old Origin here in Australia, and again a magazine snippet that I've popped on the front of it. And then on the inside I've had some tissue paper, and I've popped that on the back so that I could use the pocket of the envelope. Here you can see on the left hand, the page on the left, how the colours ran once the paper got wet. I just like that effect. Just gives it a bit of character to the page. This paper bag was part of, had some goodies in it from Jeanette from Scrapping Happy Exo Crafts, and I've cut that in half and used it as a pocket. This long piece is of a pattern piece from one of my pattern books, and it's probably about nearly 1.5 meters, and I thought, well, if I fold that all up, you can actually scribble some notes on that. Another gorgeous pic from the magazine, and on the background I've popped in a little leftover pink paper doily, which was still from Pearl and Button and Siobhan, thank you, and I just made a little booklet for this one. Now check out the effect on the right hand side. Now, I had this piece of paper, A4 page, on my desk, and I had my baby wipe right next to it, and the alcohol just wet it all, and once it was dry, look at the effect it gave. Love it. Can anybody remember these? Johnson's foot soaps? My sister-in-law gave me this box, and I thought that was pretty cool, so I took it apart and photocopied it and popped that in the journal as well. Pattern pieces that I actually coloured with food colouring make great pages for in the journal as well. little tab on the top there, little tuck spot, and the little postcard. That was part of the Happy Mail from Valerie Kruger. Inside the back cover, I've done the same thing. What I've done there is I've actually applied the other half of the paper bag, and then I was able to slip in a big tag. Here you can see it's quite a big tag. I glued and sewed some coffee dyed paper on the back so that you can journal on it. Finished off with a little trim on the top, and you'll see the bag at the in the tuck spot on the inside the back cover. Here you'll see a bit more of the design of the fabric. It's like a knitted fabric, and what I've done is I covered it also with a tea dyed lace that was quite sheer so that the colours will still come through. The spine I neatened off with a nice piece of crochet trim, and of course I've got some dangles this time. This was of a long necklace, and I took it apart, and because Valerie also gifted me with some bulb pins, so I was able to attach this to a little bulb pin. This journal stands up quite nicely and also lays down nice and flat to journal onto. It has 4 signatures, and each signature has around about 10 pages. And each signature I've used a 4-stitch pamphlet stitch to secure. Well, I do hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of this journal. I've had fun creating it, and it's a little bit different in working always with lace and fabrics, and I've finally finished it, so it was on my to-do list. So until next time, ladies, happy crafting, and thank you for watching and your ongoing support. Bye for now.